Yeah, you are most welcome, our viewers, our subscribers, our fans, our supporters. This is Africa 24, and my name is Jeff Boro. I am going to be your host today. I want you to join me on the comment section to put down your views. And also, if you want to join us in the show, I am going to put the link there so that you can join. This is Africa 24, where everybody's view is respected. We do shows and we let people discuss what they have in mind. So you are most welcome. Thank you so much, those that are joining. We're going to be here for around two good hours. So you are most welcome. And I'm continuing to wish you a happy new year. We are hoping as Africa 24 that this year will be better than last year. We saw many things happen last year. Some of them were good things, others were unpleasant. We saw how the Gen Z's movement was crushed last year. I am hoping that this year will be a better year where we will not have to lose anybody because of politics. We also, last year, we witnessed the impeachment of the elected Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, which to some people it was unfortunate, it was a bad thing, and to other people it was a good thing, and they celebrated for it. So many ugly things happened last year. We are hoping things are going to be better this year. It was last year when the opposition joined the government. Is it a good thing? I think to a larger extent, it is not a good thing because the government is left unchecked. That is why today we will be discussing about the rule of William Samoei Ruto. And the big question that we're going to be asking is William Ruto a despot? That is why on the topic we are talking about the despotic rule of William Samoei Ruto. So we're going to be analyzing how he has handled power, because if you want to know a character of a man, give him power and see what he's going to do with it. We're going to be analyzing how William Ruto has handled power for the last two years. And I am welcoming you to join me in the panel. Whether you support William Ruto, feel free. Whether you support ODM, feel free to join us. Whether you support the movement of Kalonzo Musyoka, you are free to join us. Whether you are a supporter of Rigathi Gachagua, you are free also to join us. Let me put down the link on the comment section so that we may have a beautiful discussion here. My panelists are going to join shortly. They are coming. We are waiting for Mzalendo and the team, and we are going to have a very beautiful show today. So if you want to join us, feel free to do it. We always respect people's views. So long as whatever we discuss here, we do it respectfully. That is how we desire to do our things. We don't lean on any political party as Africa 24. Individuals might have their views. We let them air whatever they have in mind without fear or favor. This is the only show that accommodates all people. And we don't get irritated for what you have to say. We respect your views. We let you point out what you have in mind, whether it is pleasant to me or not. And that is how it is supposed to be. So today, we're going to be discussing about the despotic rule of William Samoei Ruto. Who is a despot? A despot is someone or a leader who exercises absolute power. Remember, we say that absolute power collapses absolutely. And especially a leader who exercises that power in a cruel way or in an oppressive way Like we have seen so many scenarios from the time when the government of Kenya Kwanza acquired the power. We have seen so many things happening. We saw how the Gen Z movement was handled. We saw how the Azimio protesters were handled by the government of William Samoei Ruto. Remember, even Uhuru Kenyatta, when he was being accused of sponsoring demonstrations because of the love of the Kenya Kwanza government, he had run away to UK for almost a month. Those are the things today we're going to be analyzing. We have seen how the government has been crushing the bloggers, the critics who have been against the government, who have been trying to point the mistakes of the government. Those are the things we are going to be handling here. And that is why in the big question we are asking ourselves, is William Ruto a despotic leader? What kind of a president do we have? Do you agree with me that he fits the title of a despot, someone who uses power in an oppressive way, in a cruel way, that you cannot speak against him because you must be afraid that the Subaru might come and pick you up? Those are some of the things I want to hear people discuss, because if we don't do it, who will do? If we don't point out the things that we feel in our hearts, who will do that? That is why I'm inviting you to come here so that we may reason together. You don't have to agree with me. Neither do you have to agree with the title which I have given to the show. You can dispute my line of thought respectively, and the show is going to be very, very beautiful. I can see Jeremiah Omondi joining me, and that is beautiful. That is very, very good. So I'm welcoming you, sir, in the show. And today we're going to focus more on the leadership style of William Ruto. And our title is The Despotic Rule of William Samoei Ruto. Why did I choose this title? It is because of the events that have happened since the time he took power. We saw how the Azimio demonstrations were crushed. We saw even the former prime minister had said that we were going to have 3 days demonstrations in Kenya. It only took 1 day, and in the evening, he had called off the demonstrations because of the wrath of the government, because of the crashing that were happening between the police and the people. We have also seen how the Gen Z's movement was tackled by the government. We lost so many young people. Those are the things we need to discuss here. We have also seen how the bloggers who have been criticizing the government, how the government has handled them. Those are some of the things that we are going to discuss. Jeremiah Omondi, I would like you, sir, to introduce yourself as we start. You're most welcome, sir.
Yes, Jeff, asante sana. I feel most welcome and looking forward to today's discussion. I think that people are still coming, so maybe we'll even talk more.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. So, I would like us to analyze the leadership of William Samoei Ruto as maybe compared to other leaders. We have Jomo Kenyatta, we had Daniel Arap Moi, we also had Emilio Moi Kibaki, we also had Uhuru Kenyatta, and now we have William Samoei Ruto. How different is William Ruto from other leaders? Maybe you can give us your views, what you think about his leadership style. Does he fit the title of a despotic leader as we proceed? Or do you think, Mr. Jeremiah? Anyway, you are muted.
Yes, I've unmuted.
Yes.
I don't think that he has reached a place where he earns the title or deserves the title of a despot yet.
Yes.
I think that would probably be a little bit far-fetched at the moment, but it is very fast moving in the right direction to get there. He's moving very fast in the direction of being, given that unfanciable title.
Yes.
I think that I hope that he will learn if and when he gets a second term how to do things better. Because you remember,
Yes.
even Uhuru stumbled a little bit with leadership in his first term. Okay. And
Yes.
so hopefully he can fumble through this first term,
Yes.
but correct the course in second term if and when he gets that second chance. But in this term, I think that he needs to borrow a leaf from previous leaders and be, like I said in the previous sessions, be a good student of history. He should look at what other leaders did before him that worked and borrow from that and learn from that in order to
Yes.
make his leadership achieve the goals and the objectives of the Kenyan people and the aspirations of the Kenyan people. At the moment,
Yes.
I fear that he doesn't look like he really understands what Kenyans want. And instead of being on the offensive with Kenyans
Yes.
by achieving what he promised Kenyans, he is being on the defensive by
Yes.
attacking and killing Kenyans who voice their concerns about his leadership. If I were him, I would take my time and retool my approach, because in sports they say the best defense is a good offense, and in
Sure.
his scenario, the best offense is achieve everything you promised Kenyans. Let people feel working for them. Let people see results of your activities, and
Yes.
people will stop protesting, and people will stop making all this noise about you. All those names that you're being called will disappear if
So do you
you
think,
start delivering.
Mr. Omondi, do you think the people of Kenya are being unfair to William Samoei Ruto? Because I think that is the sentiment from those who are in government, that people are not genuine. They're just being unfair to the government, criticizing the government even when the government is doing the right thing. What is your take on that?
No, there is no way that can be true. There is no way. Kenyans are just asking for things that they wanted in the leadership that was coming after Uhuru. They have every right to demand anything and everything they want from the government within the law. And
Yes.
if somebody says that Kenyans are being unfair to the president, I think that is somebody who is utterly misinformed. Kenyans have
Yes.
every right to demand everything that they're demanding from the government. And it's the work of the government to ensure that it answers those demands and meets the aspirations of Kenyans. If the government fails to do that and the Kenyans uprise against the said government, the government
Yes.
shouldn't say Kenyans are being unfair to it. If the term unfair does not apply in this scenario, generally, let me say that.
So if the government, which is being led by William Samoei Ruto, has decided, instead of listening to the people, those who voice negatively from what the government is saying, they are crushed. Others are abducted. Others are killed. Do you still think this leader does not fit the title of being a despot? Because when we talk of a despotic leader, it's someone who is misusing power, using power in a cruel way, in an oppressive way, to silence those of different views. That if I think the government is not performing well and I talk about it, I have to be silenced. That if I dare to protest, I should be worried because the next day I can disappear. Because it seems that is what is happening. And I want us to think on to analyze how William Ruto handled the Azimio demonstrations. They were dissatisfied with how the elections were handled, and they wanted to air their views. There were demonstrations all over, and how he tackled them. I know you remember, it was very bad, to the extent that the former president had even to run away from Kenya for some time in order for the anger of the president to subside. Yeah? So this is, to me, I think William Ruto fits the title of a despotic leader. Because if he does not fit that title, then who fits in that title? Because the things that we have seen happening, they are very unfortunate. That sometimes we have seen people disappear. And even the government is not telling us who is kidnapping these people. We were not even told those Azimio supporters who were killed and others disappeared. Nobody was put into jail. Nobody was prosecuted for such mistakes. Even during the Gen Zs, we lost so many young people. Can you imagine Jeremiah, even today? Nobody has told us who had dumped dead bodies in the dam. Many people were retrieved from the dam. Bodies that were dead. And nobody is telling us who did that. Who are those people? You know, that is the kind of the country that we are living in. Someone, Laban Misian, is telling me, Jeff, is this the same Jeff who was worshiping William Ruto? We normally say only a fool who does not change his mind. Because if Omondi, I am supporting you today, and tomorrow what you are doing, I don't agree with it, I don't have to support you. I'll change my mind. You know?
I agree.
Yes, sir.
I agree. I mean, despot, in its definition, right?
Yes.
Is a ruler who has absolute power and uses that absolute power to oppress his subjects. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I think that this is my opinion, there is a threshold that someone has to reach for them to be justifiably called a despot. And as much as Ruto is bad, in my opinion, I think he hasn't reached that point, because
the threshold of being a despot.
Yes, we still have the rule of law, right? He doesn't have absolute power. He's just abusing his powers that he has, but he doesn't wield absolute power. But of course, yes, he's oppressing his people. So I think that I think that there's a threshold that maybe somebody needs to reach to really be called a despot. I feel that Ruto hasn't reached there, but like I said, he's moving very fast in that direction, and it won't be long. Yeah, he's headed in that direction, and it probably won't be long before he gets there. But for now, he's a cruel leader. He's a dictator, And I think that
He is cruel. He
something
is a
needs to change.
dictator. He is a
Yes.
dictator.
Mm.
And in the statement, you have said that we still have the rule of law.
Yes.
Maybe we can say to what extent? Because maybe to a lesser or to a greater extent, we have the rule of law. It all depends on how you would like to analyze it. Because if people are disappearing, if people are being killed, and we don't know who are killing them, because
Mm.
nobody has the right whatsoever to terminate someone's life. So we cannot say that we have the rule of law when people
Mm.
are being abducted, people are disappearing, some of them forever, they don't resurface again, others are found dead, and the government is not able to account what is happening. Then
Mm.
I think to some extent we can say we don't have the rule of law. We have even seen a situation whereby the government officials, like the leaders in the police service, are being summoned
Mm.
by the court, and they refuse to go. They refuse to appear. We cannot be saying we have the rule of law when that law is not obeyed by everyone. You know, and we have been
Mm.
joined by Mzalendo. Mzalendo, you can unmute yourself and you introduce yourself to our viewers, because we have so many people who are watching us across the globe. And our viewers, remember to subscribe to Afric 24. Those that are watching us in our sister channel, Motebei TV, remember also to subscribe to Afric 24 so that I can be in a position to see your comments. So when you have not subscribed to both of them, I will not be able to see your comment. And I want to see your comment so that I may read it and know what you have in mind. Those that want to join us, please do it on the link on the comment section, and you are most welcome. Mzalendo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jeff. And I know many of you know me as Mzalendo, apart
Yes.
from Jeremy, who calls me Nick all the time, because we grew up
Mhm.
together. Now,
Yes.
I want to thank you guys for just having the time to discuss about Kenyan politics and what is happening in our country lately. I mean,
Yes.
it is it's what we call uzalendo, patriotism, and
Mhm.
the love for our country, and that's why we want good governance in Kenya and to place
Yes.
the right leaders in position. So,
Mhm.
having said that, I was just following the topic today, and
Mhm.
it comes to my mind that William Ruto indeed is a deposit. He has he has he has
Mhm.
crushed ODM political party into
Mhm.
submission, and you can
Mhm.
see them singing William Ruto in each
Mhm.
and every political gathering or space that you find them. So
Yes.
it is something that he has done systematically, and that's why I say
Mzalendo,
William
just a
Ruto.
minute. Just a
Yes.
minute, Mzalendo. Are you able to put Joram in the show? Is he in the show? I'm trying to
Oh,
put
okay,
him.
okay. Let me
Just do that. Mm.
let me add him. Hmm.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what I was saying
Mhm.
is that William Ruto has been successful in doing what he does best.
Yes.
Yeah, and what he does best is divide and rule
Mm-hmm.
tactics. What Moi used to do in his days, he has
Mm-hmm.
successfully crushed the ODM political party into submission,
Mm-hmm.
with giving them the bait of AU and all that. Now he controls parliament. He started
Mm-hmm.
by buying the MPs in parliament and managed to get all of them in his fold.
Mm-hmm.
Now he successfully eliminated Gachagua, who was his biggest threat politically. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, in the politics of Kenya, the way it is, The only threat that now is emerging as a threat to Ruto's legitimacy as a president is Gachagua and the faction of Gen Zs. Now, he's rushing the Gen Zs into submission slowly by ensuring that he controls the media and the voices of these young people. Most of them, like you saw the other guy who was dead the other day, thrown on Thika Road, and they are claiming that he was knocked with a vehicle. This is somebody who was killed somewhere, then thrown on the road, and it appears to be an accident. And those are tactics that we have seen before, and we will analyze them as they go by. You have seen parents of the victims of those who have been abducted already surrendering to submission and saying that, our son drowned. Our old engineer goes to swim in a river instead of going to a swimming pool. It doesn't make sense. These things can never add up. Mburu, today, if you tell me that you have gone to swim in a river in Mwiki, and you can afford to go to a swimming pool in Safari Park, does it really make sense? Or Nyayo Stadium? These things are old tactics that will not survive. So we have to be vigilant. We have to keep on pressing. We have to keep on raising our voices, and we have to stop this government from these atrocities. The civil society, the mainstream media, need to focus on these abductions. These are stories that need to be highlighted each and every day. And most importantly, these leaders need a blackout. The media, the fourth estate need to do something so significant. You don't need to follow William Ruto in his functions in churches and all that and publish and tell us what he's saying. No, give him a total blackout. Give him a total blackout and let us push and push and push. Yeah, thank you very much. Let somebody else jump in, Joram.
Yeah, we have, and Sarah, I can see you are trying to join. On my side, it is showing that your device is not connected. Go to the settings and allow your gadget to access our camera and the video, and you'll be able to join in the show. Our viewers, this is Afrique 24. Those that are watching us from Mutebei TV, also subscribe to Afrique 24. Those that are on Afrique 24 and have not subscribed to Mutebei TV, also do it. When you have subscribed to both, we will be in a position to read your comments because we want to hear what you have to say. And I want to read some of the comments. We have Laban Misiani, who is saying, Jeff, is this the same Jeff who was worshiping Ruto? Yes, I am still the one. I have not changed. We have Laban also saying, Mzarendo, it's William Ruto who has crashed into ODM and not crashing ODM party. He is saying ODM is still intact. It has not been crashed by William Ruto. Someone here, something like Diamond, is saying, Walai, at mwambieni ukweli, but mchunge that you may not be abducted. That's what he means. And also someone is saying, Jeff Boro, what causes one to be abducted? Yeah, those are questions that the panelists will be answering today. Jeremy, I'm going to give you a chance. And today we are asking ourselves the first question, does William Ruto fit the title of a despotic leader? Is he a despot? And we are saying a despot is someone who uses absolute power, especially in a cruel and in an oppressive way. Has William Ruto oppressed his subject? We normally say that if you want to know the true character of a leader, give him power and see how he will behave. I am just trying to reflect. See how power has changed. The once humble leader who used to kneel down and cry in church, a leader who portrayed himself as a savior to the people of Kenya. Is he the same that we have today? Those are some of the questions that are lingering in our mind. Jeremy Joram Wangera, you have your 5 minutes to give your submission. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My regards to Muzalendo and to, is it Jeremiah? My regards to you both. Looking at William Samoe Ruto, they say that, there is what we call the traces of the blood. So, I'll talk about, the traces of the political blood. Because, William Samoe Ruto was a political child of Daniel Arap Moi. He was a political child of, he could have been the political blood of, of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi because of the manner in which, he is operating. First, look.
And I think your internet is
look at Samoe Ruto doing exactly the same.
Yeah, proceed. Yeah, I think your internet is not very good.
Just like, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, who used to... Okay, let me work on my internet, then I come back.
Yes,
let me work on my internet.
Yeah. Jeremy, you can pick up from there.
Thanks, Jeff. And Muzalendo, good to see you.
Nice to see you, my brother.
Yes. Now, Jeff, I'm going back something I've said before, that I'll keep sticking to it until maybe...
Jeremy, before you say what you said, yes, was it yesterday? Maybe you need to repeat what you said yesterday. I found that is it a proverb or that was so interesting. The proverb of the chicken.
Yeah. He said yes. So that bears to be very true. But the point that I've said before that I want to repeat and I want to start with is that either Ruto is not a very good student of history or is just arrogant. Sometimes I think both of those are true. Because you see, if you remember the way the ICC case went, right? If you followed it, you realize that investigations went far, far back, 2-3 years before the elections. And that is how somebody like Sang, the radio presenter, got himself in trouble. Now, at some point, if this government keeps going the way it's going, things are going to go to a head. Things are going to get tough, and we might find ourselves in a situation where we are facing the ICC and things like that when he's out of government or things like that.
Yes.
The way his people are speaking now, people like Sudi, engineer, people like Kamket, they're literally saying that we are killing these boys because these boys are playing around with the government. And the government is not supposed to be playing. That is exactly what those people are telling Kenyans now. If Ruto was a smart person and he learns from history, he should be telling those guys, yeah? As much as we know that whatever these people are doing, he knows what they're doing. They cannot do it without him sanctioning it.
Yes.
He should be very careful. We know for a fact that it's the government that is doing all these abductions and killings. Otherwise, if they are not doing it, then they need to get us who is this person who is doing these abductions and killings. But the president people are really confessing to the fact that they are the ones, it's the government that is doing this. We have to really find a way to put our message across regardless of what threats lay ahead.
You know, for me, Jeremiah, I don't think the government should be giving Kenyans excuses and trying to say that they are not involved. What they should be telling us, if they are not the ones who are abducting Kenyans, they should be in a position to tell us who is doing it. Yes. Because they are the government. If they cannot do that, then they should not be in government. They should pack and go. As simple as that. Now, away from that, there has been speculation that there is a fallout between Kindiki. Rumors has been saying that there is a conflict between Kindiki and the president. What do you have to say about that? Even somebody on the social media, many people were saying that Kindiki was slapped by Farouk. I don't know how true or such information is, but I would also like us to discuss that. We saw that Kindiki was not even in the burial of Moses Wetangula's mother. We need to discuss that. He also missed in the New Year celebration, where the president was also in. But today he came and lavished that and said those are just baseless rumors. What do you think about that, Jeremy, before I go to Mzalendo?
They say where there is smoke, there is fire. I think that story started off as a rumor, as a small rumor.
Yes.
But I think there is some truth to it. There is some truth to what transpired. Maybe it wasn't a slap. Maybe it was more than a slap. Maybe it was less than a slap. We don't know. But you know that something was afoot between the 23rd of December up to 2nd of January 2025. Something was amiss, and that's why the deputy president was amiss in quote unquote state functions like the Kisii, State Lodge, Kesha. So I think that something happened. We just might not know exactly what happened, but I do not put it too far away from some of the the president's confidence to slap someone. I don't think it is something that is too much for them to do. I would think they would do it if they have a reason to. I think they would, but it would be unfortunate. Like what the statement that people were saying came from Kindiki was that why is he being slapped by somebody who is not a state officer? Right? Because the individual that is supposedly the person who slapped Kindiki was neither voted into office by any Kenyan, is not employed by the Kenyan government in any capacity. He's just a close friend of the president. So
wow.
I think that it would be very unfortunate if really that happened, that a non-state officer can slap a state officer in a state, space like the State House and things like that.
There was somewhere where leaders, the political leaders were speaking, and they were talking about Farouk and how powerful this man is, though he doesn't have any office. But before you meet the president, he has to authorize. He has to say who does what in government and such kind of things. Is it necessary to have such people in the government? During the time of Moi, we had to be what? Total man. who was very, very powerful. He was feared. Uhuru was not having such a man. Moi had such a person. Kibaki was not having such a person. What do you have to say about that? We had Biwott during the time of Moi. Now we have Farouk, whom we cannot say specifically what he does. But even the people in the government, they fear him so much. Do we need such a person? What is the work of Farouk?
Apart from description, is the president's personal assistant. Okay. And history has it, and it's out there. They've been friends, and he's been holding that position for the person of who is the president now since before he was even a president. So some leaders do have people like that, but the amount of power the person wields is only to the extent of the amount of space the leader they represent allows them to. And that is why somebody like Kibaki didn't, because he would not understand how do you have somebody who is my personal assistant sitting even in serious cabinet meetings and being briefed on national security matters, because Kibaki understands what it takes to run a nation, what it takes to be a government, what it means to be a government. And that's why he didn't have that. Uhuru, on the other hand, had one. I'm just forgetting his name. What's his name? I'll remember his name, but he did have one. Although
but he was not so powerful.
What Uhuru did was that he got the person to be employed, and I think even ran for MP or something. I'm going to get his name here shortly. He was called to. I'm forgetting his name. Yeah, but of course he wasn't as powerful as Farouk. And like you said, Boy had his, but he put his to be MPs. They got into elective positions, and they would wield those powers, and it could be sort of justified because they are state officials. So this one, Farouk is a new one. It's a different animal. It's a monster that we don't know, but it's amongst us. It's one that we have to deal with. Because somebody that even no one dares face him except the president himself.
That's true. Before I go to Muzareda, we're gonna take a minute break, then we come back. Mzalendo, we are tackling the aspect of having Farouk in government. Someone we are not aware what are his roles. Specifically, we don't know what he does, but he is feared, the most feared man in the government of William Samoei Ruto. What do you have to say about that, Mzalendo?
I think it's unfortunate, but just as I said in earlier programs, that there are people behind power in each and every political candidate. We saw in Moi's regime, and Wangira put it very, very nicely that this is a student of Daniel Toreti Arap Moi. And he had to he had to use Moi's tactics to survive in politics. And if you've seen clips coming from Rift Valley, the leaders, the leader from Marakwet, from Baringo, said it, we ruled this country for 24 years. Yeah. And there is a way we know how to do it, and we do it best. For 24 years, you had to abide by what? Yeah. So Moi had to be
And
what?
Mzalendo,
Hmm?
there has.
Hmm?
Proceed.
Yeah, I said Moi had Nicholas Biwott as
Proceed.
his.
We can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
I was saying
Yes,
that
I can hear you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Moi had Nicholas Biwott as his closest ally and the one person to do the dirty job for him. So and he succeeded for 24 years with the total man, as he was branded. So the total man was very, very successful in ensuring that any detractors in the Moise regime or his agenda and philosophy adhered to the Nyayo philosophy. He recruited people in Nyanza, notably, he recruited people like Olo Aringo. Recruited people like Nyakiamo in Nyanza. When he went eastern, he recruited people like Mulumutisia. So these are people who were singing Moi's Moi's slogans everywhere they went, and he did not even stop there. He made sure that in the civil service, he there were people that who were totally trusted. Uh, are the
Yes.
ones who were given position. Loyalists. And if you are not a loyalist of President Daniel Moi, he crushed you. Yeah, he crushed you,
Yes.
just like what Ruto is doing. I mean, how many in Moi's regime we saw Saitoti being crushed? In Moi's regime, Kibaki had to resign, tender his resignation after so many
Yes.
frustrations. In Moi's regime, we had somebody called Dr. Josephat Karanja, a professor from the university, who was loyal, and he had to be crushed when he was growing horns. So this is something that Ruto has got the playbook of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, and he has mastered it. So he's playing it page by page. Right now, he's in the page of crushing anybody who is against his regime, and is doing it
So, Mzalendo,
successfully and
yes,
systematically. Yeah.
there have been rumors that Farouk slapped the deputy president, Professor Kithure Kidiki. And also, the rumors were saying that there is a fallout between Kidiki and William Samoei Ruto. That is why he missed in the New Year celebration, in which the president participated. He was not also in the burial of Moses Wetangula's mother. What do you have to say about that, Mzalendo?
Yeah, there is a possibility that Kindiki, first of all, is an appointed deputy president. He's not elected by the people of Kenya as per the constitution. These people are elected a pair. Uh,
Yes.
Gashagwa was elected, and he brags that he was elected. Yes, he was elected as a pair with William Samoei Ruto. So
Yes.
Kindiki is appointed, and when you appoint somebody, then they have to play by your rules. And he says it, and he doesn't even shy away from it. My assignment is is from the head of state. When he tells
Yes.
me what to do. I am a servant. I have to be loyal. And he also he does not talk about the people of Kenya. So these leaders are loyal to the ruler who is William Samoei Ruto. You see, I think there is see William Ruto as
You are.
somebody who is laughing with people and all that. But this guy, I think, is a tyrant. Is a dictator. Look at the suit William Ruto is wearing. The Mao suit uh, from North Korea, worn by dictators. And when you see leaders like those, they come with the people to really submit to their kind of leadership. So that is what is happening in Kenya. It's sad that even the political class, and elect
Yes.
the people no longer answer.
Mzarendo, hold there. Mzarendo, I want you to check your internet because I don't know whether it is on my side, but it's kind of breaking
No,
a little bit.
It should be on my side because I'm driving. I think you'll
Okay.
have those glitches once in a while.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
but can you
try
hear
to
me
be
now?
louder. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying that everybody now you see in the political class, be it the opposition leader Raila Odinga, is submissive to William Ruto's government. The only person left, I think, probably is Kalonzo Musyoka, who I'm not sure whether he lasts up to 2027 before he falls short. But to me, he seems to be the only consistent political leader who people were calling watermelon. But I think he has got principle. He has put his house in order for all that time. Despite not going to the streets and all that, his MPs are loyal to him, are loyal to the wiper movement. So I don't know how he does it, but Kalonzo doesn't appear as a very, very strong leader in public, but I think he's a very, very good manager compared to other political leaders in Kenya. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, Mzarendo. Our viewers, this is Afrique 24. If you have not subscribed, please do it, and we will appreciate. If also you are watching us from our sisters media Mutebe, remember also you need to subscribe to Afrique 24 so that when you put down your comment, I'll be in a position to see it. Also, I appreciate those that are keeping us very busy on the comment section, and you are doing a very good job. Misiani, who is supporting the government 100%, he is saying, Jeff Boro, just wait. Much will happen. We will be around in your admissions 2027. We shall discuss here after Ruto re-election. Yeah, that is what Misiani is saying. Continue dropping your comment there. Continue keeping us busy. There are so many statements from Misiani there. He is also saying, but even if Kidiki was slapped by Farouk, the late Rusi slapped Matere, something like that, in the State House. Something like that there. Yeah, continue putting down your comment. We will appreciate. If you want to join, whether you are supporting the government or opposition, whichever party, this show is neutral. You are free to speak. You are free to give whatever you have in mind. And that makes Afrique 24 very special because we let people speak freely without fear or favor, so long as you do it respectfully. Even in the comment section, just write down what you have in mind, and we will appreciate. Now, I want us to go to another topic, the Mount Kenya factor, the Mount Kenya politics. William Ruto, I heard Mzarendo here mention about divide and rule policy. And I think now the president has realized this is the only thing that is remaining for him to do to Mount Kenya, so that at least they can get some votes. Will William Ruto succeed in dividing Mount Kenya? We have seen already, we have the one team being led by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who actually, according to my analysis right now, Gachagua has taken around 85% of Central Kenya support. But the president, after realizing what is happening on the ground, he is not prepared to lose his backyard, his political base that supported him with almost 90% of the vote that he got. I think the president is so much afraid that he has brought so many people from central Kenya into his government. We have seen him bring in Mwangi wa Iria. We have seen him bring in Mutahi Kagwe. We have seen Kabogo. We have seen him visit the former president. And I have seen so many comments from the people of central Kenya. They are saying it doesn't matter how many positions you are going to give to the Kikuyu people. They are saying we are not boarding. Jeremiah, will William Ruto succeed in dividing Mount Kenya? Is he going to maintain this political base? What is your view on this?
Thanks, Jeff. In my observation, Ruto doesn't have to just divide Mount Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
He also has to isolate them.
Mm-hmm.
So in his strategy, he has to take away some of those votes, but then also he has to isolate the central voting bloc. Remember the thing people used to say of 42 against 1 in 2007? That should be the sort of strategy that he's looking at, and I know that's what he's going to try to do. Now, at this moment, Gachagua can make all the noise he wants. But let me tell you, and former President Uhuru Kenyatta can tell you this much. All political leaders in Central, from the Murima part of the country, they have an economic powerhouse that pushes them, that empowers them, that drives them, that they represent in government. At this moment, those powerhouses are still quiet. But the disquiet that I've had is that they are not comfortable with Gashagua's rhetoric. These individual billionaires and groupings of these individuals are not comfortable with Gachagua. They want to let him run out and make noise. When the time comes, those guys will come out and make a stand. If they make a stand to support Gachagua, which is probably not very likely, Gachagua might still have some space in Central. If they go up against him, because they would love to be in government, right? As much as they feel betrayed by this guy now, they could be given some backdoor dealings that will let them feel comfortable in doing business with this guy, despite the difference in opinion by the common wananchi, the voters. And if that machinery comes and starts working for Ruto in one way or another, just to take up 60% or 40% or 30% of the Murima votes is all Ruto need. That is all he will need in 2027. Doesn't have to get the whole block as such. Him, if he gets even 30%, it will be fine. And I think to that extent, he's not very concerned so much about what Gachagua does now. He knows where he will hit Gachagua.
You have made a very good submission here that William Ruto does not have only to divide Mount Kenya, which we call the divide and rule policy. He has also to isolate them, of which I have seen. I know you are saying that basing on the statements that the leaders who are leaning on his side are making, even in the political rallies, that how comes leadership has been coming from one side of the nation and such kind of things. And those are the kind of talks that were happening before the 2027 elections. But
Exactly.
Jeremiah, I would like to ask you a question. Do you think in this era, William Ruto is likely to make the same mistake that we made into 2027? You remember the repercussion of what happened after the people of Kenya tried to isolate one community, and the politics was going, it is now 41 against 1. I remember we lost more than 1,000 lives, and millions of people were displaced from their homes. And the crashes happened mostly in the Rift Valley, where I'm one of those people who visited the evictees in Tororo. I went to Tororo refugee camp, and I saw the sufferings of the people. I saw the bitterness that were with the people. I remember it was such a mistake that even made William Ruto to be sent to The Hague. Is he likely to make the same mistake? Has he not learned? Have we not learned? Not just William Ruto. What do you have to say about that?
I like the way you finished that.
Yes.
Have we learned? And remember, I've said this from the very first sessions or episodes of this program that I don't think that Ruto is a good student of history.
Yes.
That gives you an answer there, right there. One. And then two, crime is omitted either by omission or by commission.
Yes.
Ruto might try to avoid the 442 versus 1 scenario like we had in 2007. But due to his actions, that might just happen without him planning that is what he wants to do. So that is possible because, like I said, he doesn't just need to divide the Mount Kenya voting bloc. He has to isolate them. Yes. So that they are running their own race on their own, right?
Yes.
And the rest of the Kenyans are running. And that is something very easy to do. Like you said, if you look at ODM crop of politicians, they're already shouting at the top of the hill something akin to that. And it will just get louder unless things change.
That's true. I have heard that many times. But
exactly.
I also want to bring the aspect of, remember, Uhuru Kenyatta was trying to separate the Kikuyus from supporting William Ruto. And the people of Central Kenya defied the former president. They said, no, we have become one with the people of Rift Valley, and we are not going to follow you, even if you are our leader. Don't you think also the people of Rift Valley and the Karaichin people are also likely to defy the direction of the president? And they can say, you are not going to separate us from the people of Central Kenya because they supported you 100%. Why do you want us to break up now? Don't you see that scenario is likely to happen?
Exactly. That is true. But that's why I said a crime can be committed by omission or by commission.
Yes.
So in that scenario, it could happen not by commission, but by omission.
Yes.
So Ruto will not, if he tries to do what you are saying, yes, it might fire. If he starts telling people, oh, it's Kenyans versus Kikuyus and stuff like that, that might fire against him. But he can make that happen by omission. Yes.
And remember, rumors, and sometimes when you hear rumors in Kenya, in most cases, what people say it is true. The people of the Karaichin people have accepted Rigathi Gachagua as one of their own. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to talk much. But whenever he would go to Rift Valley, he used to tell them, remember, I am one of you. And let me just speak without fear. And I say, rumors goes that Rigathi Gachagua is a son, biological son of the former president, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. And he even one day said that every time he goes to Rift Valley, they give him cows. And now he said he has so many cows in his home because of the courage in people, the love they show to him. Do you think Gachagua is also likely to penetrate in Rift Valley, especially if the court will allow him maybe to learn in 2027? What do you think?
You know, Rift Valley is very vast.
Yes.
Right? You know how vast. Look at Kenya's map. Look at how vast the Rift Valley, as it were, back then as a province. You see, it's the largest geographical region in the country.
Yes.
Now, Gachagua can claim to be a son of the former president. Saitoti claimed to be a Maasai, and he claimed to be a Kikuyu. Whether that helped him or didn't help him, no one knows. One thing I can tell you for a fact is that Gachagua can claim a very small portion of Rift Valley. The areas around Nakuru, like Kipia, those sides, Mau Summit, that part of Central. If you go to Northern Rift, South Rift, you can't go there. You will not be able to go there. As long as he's running against Ruto, that would be a no-go zone for him. That will be blocked out for him if suppose he was running to be president.
Yeah.
So he would probably just take a small segment of Rift Valley, which again also probably won't be his 100%. Yeah? But the political rhetoric will happen. But at the end of the day, where people will vote is what will matter.
So, do you think those allegations or the rumors that Gachagua is, because he has never said it himself, but people have been saying that Gachagua is a biological son of former President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. Others have been going ahead even to try to break it down. Now, from the time when Ruto appointed Gachagua as his deputy, the Moi family kept quiet and they have never fought the government of William Ruto because one of their brothers became the deputy president. What do you have to say about that aspect? Have you ever even checked the pictures? Do you see any similarity with the former president?
people have that out there, and Kenyans are very good at fabricating stories. In all honesty, me, I don't buy into it, right? Gachagua himself has said he's a son of a Mau Mau. He has his history, how he grew up with his brothers and sisters, in Central. I don't think there's any truth to him being the biological son of Moi. Because again, who is his mother? Why would
his mother? Well, before you proceed, the mother. You see, why I'm saying this Gachagua is someone you cannot underestimate politically, because when he goes to marry, he is the son of his father Gachagua.
Yes.
When he goes to Meru, he is a son of his mother, who is a Meru. Actually, he has even built a home in Meru. So the Meru people see Gachagua as their son. So as much as William Ruto would like the Meru people to support his government, Gachagua will also have a say in Meru because he is also a Meru. When he goes to Karejin, people see him as the son of Daniel Toroitich arap Moi.
The reason I asked the question of his mother,
Mburu,
right?
Maybe just to add on that, just to add on that, some of these rumors could be true, and unless you dig deeper to understand where these rumors are coming from, is when you know that there is some truth in what people are saying. Now, I have tried to dig very, very deep into the politics of Rift Valley and Gachagua. What people need to understand is that, one, it is Moi who introduced Gachagua into politics. It is Moi who gave Uhuru Kenyatta Gachagua. And Gachagua brags about it each and every time. That
he nurtured. Uhuru
Yeah,
until he became the president.
yeah, huyu mlevi tulimtoa kwa bar tukamweka akakuwa rais. He talks about it each and every time. Now, when Gachagua was at the university, this is the only student who had a free pass to State House. And these are facts, these are not rumors. He could walk into
Yes.
State House, go see his father, and come out of State
Yes.
House. Yeah. Now, about what Jeremy was alluding that, you know, when you make a lady pregnant, when you make a lady pregnant, they can be married
Yes,
to
tell
another
us.
man. They can be married to another man, and that man will
Yes.
father will father the child. Yeah, until they become adults. This has happened in many homes, and that is why.
Mzarendo, today I had a discussion with some people here, and they were saying that Moi had so many children outside the marriage. That's why he was not even staying with the wife. So there are so many people that Moi had, so many children that Moi had gotten with other women who were not his wife. And I think the speculation that we hear that also Gachagua is a biological son of Moi could be true.
Yeah, and you see,
have you ever checked? Have you ever even listened to the accent of Gachagua?
You know what? What I need just to add it what you just said. You know, Moi had a wife called Leah. Moi's wife was called Leah. If you read that Leah's story, Leah was called. She was called Leah. She was called Leah. Leah, or what was her name? Moi's wife. Lena.
Lena, the mother to Gideon.
Yeah, the mother to Gideon. Lena. Lena was a staunch Christian. Yani, these are people who wale, you know, like they were communicating with God each and every time, and could not tolerate any nonsense like, you know, more promiscuity of President Daniel Arap Moi, and that is why they separated. You get that right? That is the reason why they separated with the wife.
Yes.
So Moi continued with his old habits until he died. So what you are saying that he had many girlfriends, that is true. There was a lot of rumors that the headmistress or the principals of many girls' schools were his girlfriends, and he used to make some stopovers and all that. That was all true about President Daniel Arap Moi. Now, did he regard that these principals were married? He didn't really care about who their husbands were. He was the president of the Republic of Kenya. Yeah.
Yes.
And he could take anything that he wanted. Now, his son, Gideon Moi, you know, Gideon Moi is married to a very beautiful lady. You know how they got married to this lady?
No, tell us.
Rumors has it. He spotted this girl on TV on a commercial, and he said, "This is what I want. Hii ndio kitu nataka, hii huyu." And it was delivered to him. So when you have got power, there are things that come along with power. Some of it is garbage. Other things are women that come along with the power that you have. So you can command Mburu's wife if they are not principled. I want to see you in my office. They will come.
And your wife is gone.
And it is gone. Even just for a night, even for a few hours, they are gone.
Especially nowadays, people don't have principles. They go for money. If you don't have money,
nowadays life is all about how much you are making. People don't really care. If your wife brings you that kind of money, then you are okay with whatever she's doing. Continue doing that business, madam. It is bringing us a lot of money, and it is making us comfortable.
So Mzalendo, I want us to go I want us to go back to the topic. Do you think William Ruto will succeed? You are the one who introduced the aspect of the divide and rule policy. Do you think he's gonna succeed in subdividing Mount Kenya?
I told you what William is doing. William is a shrewd politician and is very smart. This is somebody who only drinks muruzik. He drinks milk and he exercises and he has got some beautiful women around him. So he is good at what he does. So he thinks about any move that will be beneficial to him. He thinks about every other move of any other politician. Now, why he has to divide Mount Kenya and ensure that Mount Kenya remain intact is simple. For simple reason. When Mount Kenya, and you see, you have been alluding to this fact that Gachagua can run in 2027. That will be the biggest mistake. And William Ruto is really praying for Gachagua to run in 2027. He's praying that he's allowed to vie in 2027. So that
what we really do.
Other tribes will not vote for Gachagua, Kikuyu president in 2027. That is out. That is out. And Kikuyu need to think beyond that. They need not to play to this gallery. That in 2027 they can lead the country. That is out. That is what Ruto wants everybody else to believe, that Gachagua wants to run in 2027 and it's launching. And they will be praying very hard that he is chosen as the presidential candidate for the opposition side. But I think Gachagua is too smart for that. All that they need in order to counter the divide and rule is also Gachagua and his team, because seemingly Gachagua, Kalonzo are the only strong oppositions to Ruto's regime regarding the politics of the day and possibly the Gen Zs.
Before I forget the line of thoughts, now, you have said it would be a big mistake if Gachagua runs. And we know very well, to become the president of Kenya, all you need is to have the majority votes. Don't you think the Mount Kenya has what Mutahi Gunyi calls the tyranny of numbers? And the combination of central Kenya, and this time around, if Gachagua decides to run because they are bitter with William Ruto for betrayal, and the people of central Kenya, what they hate most is betrayal. That is why you saw they were punishing Uhuru for betraying Ruto, who was not one of them. And people are angered by how Ruto has mistreated one of them. So if they are to vote, they will vote for, if Gachagua runs, they will vote 100% for Gachagua. And that time maybe they will be working with the Kalonzo Musyoka, the Kaba votes. So the combination of the Kaba votes and the central Kenya or the Kikuyu votes, plus few votes from other areas, do you know, they are enough to make someone the president in Kenya?
No. That is not enough. That is not enough. That is not enough.
Yes.
A Kikuyu candidacy brings animosity. It brings the memory of 2007. It brings up so many other things. It now justifies William Ruto. Yeah, it justifies William Ruto's position. So when a Kikuyu runs,
remember Mzalendo, after Kibaki, people had said there is no way we can have another Kikuyu as a president. But Uhuru became the president. Like just like people are saying, oh, we cannot have another Kikuyu as the president. No. Can't it happen the same way?
The scenario is different between after Kibaki and now. When Kibaki came in, Uhuru and Ruto were facing a similar circumstance, like, you know, the ICC. That was the common factor joining the people of Rift Valley and the people of Central. Now, these are the two tyrannies that Mutahi Ngunyi was talking about. Now, is there a tyranny? Is there a tyranny between the Kikuyu and the Kamba community? There is no tyranny there. In Kenya, to
Why
be the
do you
president,
think there is no tyranny? Okay,
wait. Let me just give you the numbers, because we have to give you the numbers. You have to get the numbers so that you can get the facts.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, you'll be talking about a population without facts. So, to be the president of the Republic of Kenya, to simplify it for you, you need at least 23 counties or 22 counties backing you. Give me where those 23 counties will come from Central and from Eastern Kenya. Then you'll find that they don't have that mathematics. Now, the mathematics.
But remember our leaders. Remember our leaders.
The mathematics. The mathematics that only works for Central at this other point is that to have somebody else running as president and they backing him up. Now, the fact that there will be another somebody else running as president and not Gachagua, that can give them that leverage of becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya. And listen carefully.
Yes.
The only way to beat Ruto without struggling, and that is why people are so bitter with Natembeya. If the Luya, with all their dialects, can have unity, the Luya are the second largest voting bloc. If you are talking about numbers, they are the second largest voting bloc. The Kikuyus are number one, Luya number two, number three Kalenjin, number four Luo, number five Kambas, the number six Mijikenda community. People from the coast.
But those are the Luya community. They are not tribal. That is why they divide their votes. Raila Odinga has really penetrated in Western Kenya, and also even Uhuru Kenyatta gets some good votes from there. I used to get good votes from there. Do you think they can just vote as a bloc?
You see, the Luyas have never been united to vote for a particular candidate. You get that right. That is why they split their votes. The Bukusus vote in a certain direction. These other people from Kakamega, they vote for ODM and all that. They have never been united. Now, this is the most dangerous lot that the government needs to get rid of completely and divide them completely. And William Ruto will be spending more time in Western to ensure that Natembeya does not get this Tawe movement political party registered and get his act together and ensure that they separate them completely with Gachagua Kalonzo. Because if...
So you see the combination will be Natembeya, will be Eugene Wamalwa, Kalonzo, Gachagua, and other leaders that are likely to join that movement. Don't you think that they will be able to kick Ruto out of power?
No, it depends on who is you know, other leader. What is important in Kenya is who is running for the president. Who is running for the president in your movement? From which tribe? From which voting bloc? From which vote?
What if it is Kalonzo? What if it is
from,
we are going to support Kalonzo?
That's the same way you put a Luo in Gachagua's camp and you say, okay, let me give Gladys Wanga, for example, to run for presidency in Gachagua's camp. That is not a winning formula. It is a popular formula, but it's not a winning formula. You don't get the numbers. You're already picking number four in the tribal matrix to become your number one. There is a larger voting bloc. This is now tribalism.
Okay, it's unfortunate that we can't talk about the politics of Kenya without discussing about tribes. But unfortunately, that is where we are as a country. Maybe in the future, that will change. For now, you have to bear with us, our viewers. Now, Mzalendo, Central Kenya has no problem whatsoever supporting Kalonzo Musyoka because the Kambas and the Kikuyus, they are almost the same tribe, to the extent that when a Kamba speaks, I'm able to pick almost 30% of whatever they say. We share many words. We also intermarry. That's why we call them Adoni, Mudoniwa. The people that we marry with.
And despite Mburu, despite you calling them Mudoni Mudoniwa, in the last election they didn't vote for
but remember,
alongside the Kikuyus.
Yeah, it has happened that many times. But remember, during that critical moment, the Kambas came to the rescue of Kibaki. In 2007, if Kalonzo did not support Kibaki, Kibaki was finished. And the Central Kenya people still remember that. Do you know why he did that? Because it is very easy for the Kambas and Kikuyus to work together. We speak the same language. We are the same people, So it will be very easy to sell the Kalonzo in Central Kenya. Central Kenya people will support him 100% if he is supported by Gachagua.
Anyway, Mburu, government policies are not written in Kamba language or Kikuyu language.
No, we are just breaking down what is likely to happen, Mzalendo.
They are not written. They are not written in. There are no laws that are made for Kikuyus and the Kambas. We only have the Constitution of Kenya and how we vote. Now, the voting pattern of Kenya. These are facts that should not elude anyone, and that's why I keep on saying that when you look at the numbers, I give example of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga in 1997, coming towards 2007, he had the popular vote, and the popular vote was coming from largely the Kalenjin community. The Kalenjin community. That was the tyranny. That was the tyranny that you could not beat even in 2007. That is why Kibaki had to steal the elections in 2007. Now,
I know I tell people, Mzalendo, that the only time that Raila Odinga won elections in Kenya was in 2007. These other times, he has never won.
The only time
I say it confidently.
No, the only time the elections were verified and that he won clearly were in 2007. And again, Maraga said that, he could not clearly say that Uhuru Kenyatta won because of this tyranny that Raila Odinga had. Yeah, and that is why elections were nullified by Maraga. Now, coming forward, this tyranny has changed, and now they started banking people from central Kenya. So he no longer had that tyranny of numbers that he used to have. So his popularity has dwindled in some areas in central, in Rift Valley. Likewise, to areas that he used to control in northeastern places like Turkana, you now find that our ODM is not as popular as it used to. We don't have candidates like Nanok supporting ODM like they used to do. And these were very powerful sons of the soil in Turkana who used to back Raila Odinga in Turkana areas. Now, likewise to the people of Pokot, we had people like Pogisho coming up and supporting the government of Mwai Kibaki, and later on we had other leaders emerging. So every other election comes with its challenges. Now in 2027, the challenges of elections will be, now we have a new constituency. A new constituency that has never participated active in Kenyan politics, and it is the Gen Z constituency. Now, this is where the government is spending its money and energy to ensure that by 2027, they have Kasamuel, they have the Gen Zs who support probably Morara, everybody else, they have them in their fold. That is what they are working on right now. All right.
Hold there, Mzalendo. Let us take a 1 minute break. Wow, our viewers, the seat is becoming very, very hot here. You have heard what Mzalendo has to say about what is likely to happen in 2027. And I want to go to Jeremiah Omondi, but I have to remind you, our viewers, make sure you subscribe to Africa 24. Even if you're watching us in our sister TV, Mutembei TV, make sure you also subscribe to Africa 24 so that we'll be in a position to see your name. You'll be in a position to see who has been watching. Put down your like, make sure you subscribe, put down your comment, and I'll be in a position to bring your comment in the screen, and everybody will be able to see. Those who support us in diaspora, in the United States, in UK, in Austria, in Canada, we appreciate. And those who are keeping us very busy on the comment section, just know that we appreciate so much. Wafula J is saying, you are very wrong. In 2002, the Luyas voted as a bloc under the NAC government. That is when they supported Kibaki. So Jeremiah Omondi, I want you to proceed from where Mzalendo stopped. You heard what I said about Kalonzo, that with the support of Central Kenya is likely to give Kalonzo between 6 to 7 million votes. Plus, Gachagua told Kalonzo to work very hard to make sure that all people who are under the age of 18 register to vote, so that at least he can have 4 million votes. With the Central Kenya and Eastern, he is likely to get 10 million votes, then get support from other places. And that's how they are planning to make Kalonzo Musyoka the next president of Kenya in 2027. What do you think about that, Jeremiah?
Thanks, Jeff. This is my analysis of the future of Kenya. I really like the statistical and numbers-driven analysis by Mzalendo, and he's right by a mile. Statistically and mathematically, he's very, very right. And Jeff, you're also right in what we've just finished saying about what will happen so that Kalonzo becomes the president. The only thing I think both of you are missing is the reality of who, whether it's Kalonzo, whether it's Gachagua, whether it's Raila, the person they will be running against. Okay? I do not see ever in this Kenya where no matter how by a landslide we win, I don't see a scenario where whatever electoral body that will be in place at that time would not announce the incumbent as the president. I've said this a lot of times, and I stick to it, and I think it's what's going to happen. No matter
and before
what,
you proceed,
no matter
before you proceed, I would like you to tell us, what do you think Ruto have or will be having that Uhuru was not having? Uhuru was the incumbent, and he was supporting Raila Odinga 100%. He had everything. He had all the government. He had all the support of the Raila Odinga camp. He was also campaigning for him. He had everything, but he had to let William Ruto become the president. Don't you think William Ruto is not special in any way?
You are just supporting my point by omission, so to speak. Yeah,
It's okay.
that's the point I'm trying to make. Now, Raila in this past election, and maybe Mzalendo can bear me witness, and many of us other diehard Raila fans from 1997. Some of us decamped in 2017, some decamped in 2022, some of us probably decamped in 2017 or 2013, thereabout. We have no confidence that Baba really wants to be the president of this country. So whatever happened in 2002, that loss, in a proper analysis, would be attributed to the failures of the ODM part segment of that movement in doing their part.
Are you talking of 2002 or 2007?
2002. Yeah. And if you look at it analytically, ODM brigade were at KICC rolling out the red carpet that they have won, while UDA brigade are at what? At Bomas with tablets and everything, manipulating things here and there, right? And Uhuru did what he did for Raila.
2022.
Yes, I'm talking about 2022.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about 2022, sorry, 2022, yes.
Yes.
Uhuru gave Raila everything. You see?
Yes.
Raila also needed to play his part with his brigade to back the deal. But we think there was a failure in what ODM as a party did and Raila's machinery did for them to back the prize. Do we think there was a failure there? Now, what you've asked me is the point I'm trying to say. If Ruto came from outside of government per se, and he beat an incumbent president with his, choice of successor, and he got into power, and now he's sitting in that office, and he has all the machinery. He will manipulate, and he can manipulate anything and everything he wants, because that's how politics plays itself in Kenya. What in your wildest dream makes you think that Ruto, at the end of the 2027 elections, would go to to Kasarani and hand over the instruments of power to somebody else peacefully? Do you see anything in Ruto's character or behavior or personality that makes you think he would do such a thing even if he lost? I don't see it. And it's not very difficult. And it's not difficult. Let me just finish. Jeff, just let me finish. Okay?
Yes. Proceed.
You can do all the maths and the calculations that Mzalendo put forth. At the end of the day, who matters is who counts the votes, not who casts the votes. Okay?
Yes.
There's a very good reason why there are challenges with constituting the IEBC commission as we speak right now. Already very, very illegal. And what I think Ruto will do, and this is the best case scenario for Kenya. This is the best case scenario that I see. What Ruto will need to do, no matter how big of a margin he's beaten by, all he'll need to do is ensure that IEBC or whoever body will be there at that time pronounces him as the winner, awards him the certificate of the winner, and even proceed and swear him in at night the way Kibaki was sworn in. Then once he has done that, which we know he can do, regardless of how much Kenyans are killing themselves, because we know in his character, he doesn't care whether you people kill yourselves. He wouldn't care.
But the Constitution, stipulates that the time that the president should be sworn in, so he cannot be sworn in at night.
Was that clause in the Constitution during Kibaki's time?
It was not there. It was not there.
Yeah?
That was the old Constitution.
Before the second term.
It was changed after. Yeah.
After now. So even if that were to be the case, what I see Ruto doing is just making sure that the IEBC announce him as the winner and awards him the certificate. He might not be sworn in, but then what he will do is stand firm, and whoever comes in to try and mediate or whatever the case that happens, will start discussing with him from the point of he was the one elected and is the one who's been awarded the certificate. Then they start discussing whoever comes to negotiate. Because for people to fight, I think he doesn't care who fight. Yes.
But remember, according to the Maraga ruling, and also the ruling that was there the other day of the current Chief Justice, is that the elections are done and are finished at the polling station. So it is not just a matter of announcing Ruto as the winner. It is a matter of knowing each polling station voted this way, and these were the numbers, and these are the people who won. Today, it is not very easy to manipulate the elections in Kenya because you just need to have people monitor your votes at the polling station. And in case someone who has not won is announced the winner, today the judiciary is very strong that elections will be nullified and people will go back to voting again. And also, I also think unless William Ruto will be so reckless that he does not care about the nation, no one would like to throw the nation to dogs by refusing to hand over power. I don't think he might do that.
I do not think.
Yes.
I do not think that it's in his character. I don't think it's in his character to hand over that easily, especially with the people around him. And
I know.
For me, despite and in spite of all the numbers that can be looked at, I do not see a scenario where Ruto hands over power peacefully to somebody else at Kasarani. I don't see that.
Wow. Thank you so much for your submission. Mzalendo, you have heard what Jeremiah Omondi has said, that William Ruto cannot hand over power even if he is defeated by anybody else.
The best case scenario is you would go for a government of national unity, a coalition of government of sorts with him as the president. That is what we will work at if the worst comes to the worst.
Mzalendo, what do you have to say about that? Do you agree? You are muted, sir. Oh, yeah, Mzalendo is trying to join again. I don't know what's going on here. Let me bring him in. Great. Mzalendo, you have heard what Jeremiah Omondi had to say, and you have kicked out of the show. You have brought him back. Now, that William Ruto will not accept to hand over power, even if he is defeated. What do you have to say about that before we go to anything else?
You know, this is an old school of thought. So much has changed. This election in 2027 will be driven with a lot of technology, and there'll be a lot of pressure. I can assure you, each and every result at the polling station will be verified at the polling station and documented by video evidence, unless William Ruto shuts down the internet. If he shuts down the internet, then he will win the election. But if he does not shut down the internet, he will not win this election. That one I can tell you. Take to any bank, cooperative bank, Barclays, if it's still there, or Standard, you get some good loan. If the internet will be alive in 2027, William Ruto is not going to win the election. But I know there's a bigger plan to shut the internet down, and that way they will win the elections. But if they rig, these are the scenarios. If they rig the election, then you will have a country that is ungovernable. You must rig each and every member of parliament. You must rig members of the Senate, and you also must rig the county assemblies. With the emergence of change, if this young generation and the boomers can come together and organize the election in a manner that they want to win, and not just rhetoric, that they want to win, then they can win the election. And it is done at the grassroots level. The recruitment ought to have started by now. It is not just enough to go on the streets and protest. It is enough.
Yes.
You have to be organized. But just back to Jeremy's point about 2022 elections. Raila lost elections by design. You know, Jeremy said that, and I agree with him that Baba did not want to win the election. He only wants to participate in the elections, but not to win the election. So participating in the election and winning are different things. Yeah.
Yes.
You can imagine with all the instruments of power, we still lost the elections in 2022. Uhuru backing us with all his money. Yet they could not know the most fundamental aspect of an election is that you need to have agents at each and every polling station to ensure that you safeguard your votes. Then they come up with some reasoning that, you know, we don't really have to safeguard our votes. And this is a man who has been losing elections in unclear circumstances. And now, in his last attempt to win the presidency, you want to tell me he was not that serious about the presidency? In his last term and his term, where the government is supporting him, he was not serious. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to anybody who thinks logically. It does not make sense. There was no election that was. He won the election, but he gave it up. It is simple.
Who won?
Raila won the election, but he gave it up to William Ruto.
No, he never won. He never won. We're going to proceed with that discussion of whether he won. We're going to proceed tomorrow.
Mburu, let me tell you. I always tell you
I don't have...
Listen, I always tell you something about politics in Kenya. There is somebody who is above the
He was defeated.
There are people who are above... No, wait. There are people who are above the presidency. Do you agree with that?
I don't know.
In Kenya, there are people who are above the presidency.
I don't know. Because the president is the topmost.
You are still at the level of the
topmost.
Yeah, that is why I'm telling you, you're still at the level of the presidency. I am at the level above the presidency. There are people who give the presidency the power to become the president. There are people who decide that it's you who is going to be the president. There are people who decided that it was time for Gachagua to go.
I believe it's the electorate.
Tell me the people who decided that it was time for Ruto to go in Uhuru's government. Tell me the reason why. What was the reason behind Uhuru kicking out Ruto?
It is just bitterness and selfishness because they don't want to share.
What selfishness? These guys were united. These guys have been united. They have faced criminal charges at the ICC, the highest level. Wamepanda ndege each and every time wakienda Hague. Wakakuja wakachukua serikali. This guy handed, I mean,
that was a unity of purpose for them to fight the ICC. But before we proceed, Mzalendo, I want to answer the question of Wafula J, who is saying that the question should be, can Kalonzo inspire the numbers? And I know he meant the numbers from Central Kenya and Eastern, mostly because that will be his stronghold. And Wafula, especially in Central Kenya right now, the people are already inspired. They don't have to be inspired by Kalonzo to vote against Ruto. They will be voting to punish Ruto for mistreating Gachagua. That will be one of the largest inspiration from Central Kenya. So he just need to inspire his people or other areas. But Central Kenya, Gachagua decides. Let me finish. Let me finish, sir.
Yes. No,
Yeah, I hear you.
I want to correct you on something.
No, before you correct me, let me finish.
No, let me finish, then I'll let you proceed. Please, tafadhali. You are the moderator. I'm a panelist, so allow me.
Okay, proceed.
That mindset of voting for somebody to punish another is the mindset that the Central Kenya voters had in the last election.
Yes.
They were voting for Ruto to punish Uhuru. What happened?
Because of the sympathy.
If that mentality proceeds, then Central Kenya is still going to make the same mistake again, that you are voting in so and so because you want to punish so and so. That is wrong.
So I'm just giving you the reality on the ground and what is likely to happen, and that will be the greatest inspiration. That you mishandled Gachagua, you mistreated Gachagua, you humiliated him. We kept quiet. We didn't throw stones. We didn't go to the streets. But on the ballot, we cannot be together with you. And the Central Kenya people, they have a culture. They have a way in which they do things. One, they don't support two people at the same time. That is why they had to drop Uhuru completely when they were supporting Ruto. In the same manner, it doesn't matter whom the president is going to pick. They will support Gachagua to the end. And whoever will be picked by Gachagua, if you be not be running as the president, that is the person they are going to support. Remember, we had very powerful people like Wangari Maathai. We had very powerful people in politics in Central Kenya who were loved by the people, like Martha Karua, Kyunjuri. There was a time they were very popular. They didn't even have to campaign in their regions. But when they defied Kibaki, who was seen as the leader of Central Kenya, up to date, those people have been trying to go back to politics, to their positions. They have never gone back to where they were. That is how Central Kenya acts, unless that has changed. So William Ruto right now, I can tell you for sure, because I am on the ground. I've been on the ground. I'm listening to what people are saying. He has made a very serious mistake. We can talk of someone like the Maina Jenga factor. Remember, Maina Jenga has not been supporting anyone from Central Kenya. He has been supporting Raila Odinga. Maina Jenga and all these other leaders, the Kimani Ichung'was, the Mutahi Kagwe, the Kidiki, the Kabogos, the Uhurus combined, they can only give William Ruto around 1 million votes, but all other votes will go to whoever will be supported by Rigathi Gachagua. That is an honest analysis from the ground. So I want us to give our final remarks. We have been here for quite some time so that we may wind up, because whatever has the beginning must have an end. We start with Jeremiah, and then Mzalendo is going to give his closing remarks. And our viewers, we really appreciate, continue to support, to follow, to like, and subscribe to Africa 24, where we speak without fear or favor. We are a neutral TV show, and we let everybody air his or her views. Jeremiah, your final remarks. We're going to proceed tomorrow. Your final remarks, sir.
It's very unfortunate where Kenya are with this current administration. Like I said at the beginning, this president is moving very fast in the direction of a notable despot. Unless something happens, he's heading in that direction. The president needs to learn that he cannot kill every Kenyan, because the more people he kills, the more people start uprising against his administration. The first I learned that, the better for him. I think that as bad as it is, and I base this on his character as a person and the way he is, handled issues where there is a bit of lawlessness and things like that happening. I don't see a scenario where he's going to, give up power very easily.
Yes.
Come the end of the elections in 2027, I think it's going to be a good, a long battle. And the best case scenario for me, for Kenya, is that he agrees to some government of national unity or some sort of a post-electoral coalition, something like that. I don't see him agreeing to walk out of Kasarani as a former president after being one term, unless Kenya really changes. But with that, I think that let's keep finding ways to keep the administration on its toes so that they can achieve for us what they promised, and let's pray for a better Kenya.
Beautiful, beautiful. Those are the closing remarks of Jeremiah Omondi. And I think the government is listening. The more you abduct people, the more you kill them, the more defiant they become. Mr. Mzalendo, your final remarks.
Thank you, Jeff. I think we have reached a point in our country where we need to make the right decisions as Kenyans. What is happening in the government of William Ruto indeed is regrettable. This is somebody that we had very, very high hopes in putting Kenya in the right trajectory. But unfortunately, he has invited death into his regime, something that he swore that he's going to protect when he picked up the sword and the Bible in his hands. He has failed terribly to protect the lives of the citizens of Kenya that he promised that he's going to protect, especially the youth who are seen as the future leaders of this country. So for us and to the families who are mourning their loved ones, and to those who are still being held in some houses or some halls somewhere within the Republic of Kenya, we pray for them. We pray for their families. We pray that maybe the good God will get into the officials or the President William Ruto's heart, so that they can release these young people. Remember, they were expressing themselves, and this is in this day age. If you belong to the old school, there are things which have changed. We no longer use the old tactics of sending messages with drums and all that, or blowing horns and all that, or shouting. The internet is a web of communication, and the world is flat, as I always say. It's no longer round. What we say we are on Africa reaches each and every corner of this of the world, and it is important that we also be responsible in our remarks, because we have one country called Kenya that we don't want to tear down apart. We want a country that is governed by the rule of law and the constitution of Kenya. At the same time, we want leaders who are responsible and respect the law of the country and respect the life of the people of Kenya. With those few remarks, I hope that it has reached the government of Kenya and to the families. We pray that God gives you peace during this time, even as you wonder where your children are. We hope that they are going to get home safely back to their houses. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo, for your beautiful final remarks. Our viewers, that marks the end of our show today. Tomorrow, we're going to be here same time and continue to prepare to join Africa 24 panel, because this is your show. We are very proud of you, our viewers. You have been there together with us the whole of last year, continue doing the same this year. If you have not subscribed, please do it. We're gonna be bringing new shows beginning next week, and you're gonna enjoy this year. It will be such a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. Always remember, Afrique 24 is your TV. Thank you, and God bless you. Continue to enjoy the new year.